My girlfriend was a homebody, but once she discovered partying, there was no getting her out of the house. She ran away for 2 days with a guy she barely knew, cheated on me, and on top of that, got an STD. I'm 24 and I've been dating Abby, who's 21, for a year and a half. She's an amazing girl, a really good person, sweet, very affectionate, and I feel like she loves me a lot. But lately, I feel like we're both changing a lot, especially her, and it's got me thinking about so many things. When I met Abby, the first thing I noticed was how different she was from other girls. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it was really obvious she had zero experience with the world in general. She was very shy, didn't talk much, hardly ever went out, and everything she said about her life revolved around her family. When she told me more about her, I understood why. Her family is incredibly strict. They wouldn't let her go to parties, she couldn't have social media, they controlled her 100%. She'd never had a serious boyfriend before me, never slept over at a friend's house, and literally didn't know what it was like to go out for drinks or a night out. I, on the other hand, come from a much more relaxed family. I went out a lot as a teenager, had my share of parties and relationships, and while I wasn't exactly a wild child, I experienced a lot of things she's only just now getting to know. When we started dating, everything was wonderful. She was super excited about simple things like going to the movies or having dinner at a restaurant. I loved that about her. It made me feel like everything was special, even the most basic things. I realized that there were many firsts she was experiencing while living with me, and that made us connect even more. At the beginning of our relationship, her parents barely let her see me. She had to make up excuses to go out, and she rarely stayed out for more than 3 hours. Little by little, as they saw that our relationship was serious and that I respected her, they started to loosen up a bit more. That was also part of the problem, I think. After a while, Abby started wanting to explore. She began by saying she wanted to have friends, go out more on her own, learn to be independent, and I thought that was great. I told her I agreed that it was necessary for her to experience those things, and that I had no problem with her going out with friends or going to parties. I even helped her talk to her parents so they would trust her more. I encouraged her when she started dressing differently and wearing clothes she hadn't dared to wear before. And honestly, I loved seeing her happy. For a long time, I thought it was part of the growth she needed, and I wanted to be there to support her. But now things are getting out of control. It all started about 3 months ago. Abby started hanging out with some classmates from university who are big partygoers. I have nothing against that. I understand it's part of her age, but the difference in lifestyle between them and Abby is enormous. She went from never going out to partying every weekend, sometimes Friday and Saturday, and lately even during the week. What surprised me most was how quickly everything changed. One day we were talking about watching a show together, and the next she'd tell me she couldn't because she was going out to a club with her friends. I don't mind her going out. I'm not controlling, nor do I think I own her time. But it started to bother me how I was being sidelined. I literally went from being her priority to being second best. If I suggested we meet up, her response would be to let her see if she didn't get invited to something, or if she wasn't going out, she'd let me know. And when she did go out, she rarely texted me. Sometimes I'd send her a message at 10 o'clock at night and wouldn't hear from her until the next day. She'd say her phone was dying or that she wasn't hearing the notifications, but it seems strange to me because before she was always on top of things and texting me. 2 weeks ago, it was one of her friends' birthdays, and they went out to a party. She told me she'd be back at 3 in the morning, but she didn't get home until 8. I was worried. I texted her and she didn't reply until 7:30 in the morning, when she wrote back saying everything was fine, that she was staying at a friend's house because she was really tired. I asked her why she hadn't let me know sooner, and she got upset. She said she didn't want to feel like she had to explain herself to me like I was her dad. That hurt because it wasn't about control, it was about worry. We've had several arguments since then. I try to calmly express how I feel, but she responds as if I'm the one with the problem. She says she doesn't understand why it's so hard for me that she's going out and having fun. That for years she couldn't do anything and now she's just enjoying her freedom.